And good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Mayor and City Council meeting for the month of December of 2022. We'll begin with our pledge. I'll ask Councilman Hand to lead us in said pledge.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilman. Let the record reflect that all council members are present and accounted for this evening. We'll begin tonight's meeting with our approval of the minutes, those of the November 9th and November 14th regular meetings, as well as the November 9th closed session. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
May I have a second, please? Is there any discussion, changes, heated debate over the minutes? All right, on the motion from Mayor Pro Tem Fuller, the second from Councilwoman Foster on approving the minutes from the November 9th, November 14th regular meetings, as well as the November 9th closed session. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say nay. Very good. I'll now ask members of the council if they are conflicted on any agenda item this evening.
No, sir.
Okay. We'll move into what's up for adoption this evening. We do have 5 items up for adoption. First being Ordinance 08-2022, amendments to the Ethics Ordinance. I'll entertain a motion, and please specify the motion.
Motion to adopt.
May I have a second to that?
Second.
All right. Is there any discussion to it? I do want to clarify with Madam Clerk, when this is adopted, at what point can we expect the new packets to be available?
Almost immediately.
Almost immediately. Very good. That will become important for those wishing to apply for the vacant council seat, because that will be one requirement when you apply, so that you fulfill that.
Outside of this,
Yep, go ahead.
outside of this ordinance, is it possible on the webpage to have some definitions that was mentioned in the public comment that's separate from this, just as a courtesy?
Let's go. Mr. Gullo.
I am here, yes. So the definitions that are key are in the ordinance, and anything that is tricky is on the instruction page of the form. So anybody would happen to fill out the form would see it on the instruction page, like what is a related party, what is a quasi-governmental entity, that kind of stuff. So it would be there for the people who have to fill it out.
Okay, so we do have the definitions covered. We're good.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions? Okay, as noted on, last month as well as Wednesday, this will bring us into compliance with the new state ethics requirements. These are things that we fill out, 4 times a year, ourselves as well as commission members and certain city employees. Is that correct? Yeah. Very good. If there's no other discussion, on the motion to adopt Ordinance 08-2022, the amendments to the Ethics Ordinance, motion from Councilman Haines, second from Councilman Hand. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. All right, next we have Ordinance 09-2022, amendment to Restricted General Business District, and I will entertain a motion, and please specify.
Motion to approve the amendment to Restricted General Business District.
May I have a second to that?
Second?
And any discussion? All right, hearing none on the motion to approve Ordinance 09-2022, amendment to Restricted General Business District from Mayor Pro Tem Fuller with a second from Councilman Hand. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Very good. We'll move into item number 3 under adoption. We have Ordinance 10-2022, amendment to yard exemptions. I'll entertain a motion. Please specify.
Motion to approve the amendment to yard exemptions.
May I have a second to that motion?
Second.
All right, and I'll open the floor for discussion. Kind of feel like we've discussed a lot of these so many times, it's kind of All right, well, with no further discussion, the motion to approve ordinance 10-2022, amendment to yard exemptions made by Councilman Foster with a second from Mayor Pro Tem Fuller. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. All right, ordinance 11-2022, we have amendment to downtown business district. Again, I'll entertain a motion and specify.
Motion to approve the amendment to the downtown business district.
And may I have a second to that?
Second.
Any discussion? All right, and this is one of those things where over time, it's always possible to go back in and fine tune and figure out what's best, what's working, what's not. So keep that in mind as we go forward. If we see additional uses that we think may be appropriate for it or some that need better specified, then by all means, bring those up at any point. I would encourage Planning Commission to do the same as well. Any other discussion on that? Okay. On the motion to approve ordinance 11-2022, amendment to downtown business district from Councilman Foster with a second from Councilman Hand, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. All right. Finally, up for adoption this evening, we have Resolution 2022-15. This is the water allocation for the month of December. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Moved.
And may I have a second, please?
Second.
Everyone hesitated on that. We don't want to allocate water right now, I guess. Any discussion? All right. Hearing none on the motion to approve Resolution 2022-15, water allocation for December from Councilman Hand with a second from Councilwoman Foster. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. All right, that's all for adoption this evening. Next, we'll go to Mr. Weeprick for our city manager report. Do you have anything for us this evening, sir?
Just wanted to clarify something. There was a comment about when we were talking about pedestrian safety and crosswalks, the idea of a crosswalk at Riffles Lane was brought up. Went back through my notes and saw that SHA likes there to be 300 feet between crosswalks. So I think that's probably too close to the crosswalk at close to Middle Street.
Right.
We'll have to measure it to make sure, but I don't think that's going to be in the cards.
Right.
And that's all I have.
Well, you can discuss that with him after the meeting if you would. Thank you. All right. Something we can always look at nonetheless. Anything else, Mr. Weeprick?
No, sir.
Any questions for the city manager?
Just one, Mr. Mayor.
Councilman Haines?
Jim, do you know if, in the past, if, like, let's say that crosswalk at Riffles Lane, what if it's exactly 300 feet from the one at Middle Street? If it's 290 something, would SHA talk about it? Is there precedent for a variance, to your knowledge?
I'm sure they would discuss it.
Okay.
I don't know about a variance process, but
Okay.
we can find out if it's close, we can certainly bring it up.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions for the city manager this evening? All right, thank you, sir. Any questions on the departmental reports as presented to you this month? All right, with that, we'll go to Mr. Gullo for our legal report. Do you have anything for us, Mr. Gullo?
Nothing new other than answering any questions you may have about what we talked about last week.
All right, council, do you have any questions for the council? No? All right, Mr. Gullo, you're off the hook. Thank you much. All right, next we have items under new business. First, the monthly financial report. I'll entertain a motion to approve if you see fit.
So moved.
May I have a second to that motion?
Second.
Any discussion or questions on the monthly financials? All right. Hearing none on the motion to approve from Mayor Pro Tem Fuller with a second from Councilman Hand. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. All right, I will request the same of the accounts payables. May I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve.
And a second to that?
Second.
There it is. And again, questions? All right, hearing none on the motion to approve from Councilman Haines with a second from Mayor Pro Tem Fuller. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. All right, up this evening are my renominations for reappointment to the Parks and Rec Advisory Board. These are terms 2023 to 2026. The nominees I'm providing to you are Kelly Bowie, Elizabeth Cheney, Jerry Hobbs, and Emmanuel Harvey. May I have a motion to reappoint those four to the Parks and Rec Advisory Board?
So moved.
May I have a second to that?
Second.
Any discussion? All right, hearing none on the motion to approve the reappointment of Kelly Bowie, Elizabeth Cheney, Jerry Hobbs, and Emmanuel Harvey to the Parks and Rec Advisory Board. The motion from Councilman Haines, second from Mayor Pro Tem Fuller. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Okay, next we have approval of proposal for Memorial Park Expansion Project Engineering Services. That has been edited to correctly show the municipality. We're no longer Thurmont.
Move to approve.
Move to approve from Councilman Foster. Is there a second to that?
Second.
Any discussion? All right. On the motion to approve the proposal for Memorial Park Expansion Project Engineering Services from Councilman Foster, with a second from Mayor Pro Tem Fuller, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. All right, approval of special event permit application, the Alyssa Richards Memorial Car Show. This looks like it's scheduled for October 14th of 2023. I like when people plan ahead. May I have a motion to approve the special event permit application?
Moved.
May I have a second to that?
Second.
Any discussion? All right, on the motion to approve the special event permit application from Councilman Hand, second from Councilman Haines. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. All right, next we have our CDM Smith 2023 rates, the list of which specified in your packets. I'll entertain a motion and please specify.
Move to approve the CDM Smith 2023 rates.
Perfect. May I have a second to that motion?
Second.
Is there any discussion on that? All right, hearing none on the motion to approve the CDM Smith 2023 rates from Councilman Foster with a second from Councilman Haines. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. All right, next, proposal for construction services for Roberts Mill Road and Broad Street Reconstruction Project. I will entertain a motion
So moved.
to approve. Thank you. May I have a second to that?
Second.
Any discussion? All right, on the motion to approve the proposal for construction services, Roberts Mill Road, Broad Street Reconstruction Project by Councilman Hand with a second from Mayor Pro Tem Fuller. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed say nay. Okay. Our last item under new business is the Main Street Board appointments. These names were gathered by our Economic Development Director, Jay Mishi, and submitted to myself, and I am therefore submitting them to the council for your approval. The names recommended would be Brandy Bollinger, Stephanie Potts Stevenson, Sharon Tillman, Dr. Jason Tate, Beth Lee, and Lauren Weepret. May I have a motion to approve those?
Move to appoint the listed names.
Thank you, Councilman. May I have a second to that?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Any qualms? Nothing? Happy? All right, on the motion to approve the Main Street Board appointments as listed from Councilman Hand, second from Councilwoman Foster, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. All right, takes us through our new business, brings us to council member reports. For the evening, we'll begin with Councilman Haines. What do you have for us this evening, sir?
All right. So for tonight's report, I just have a couple year-end statistics from economic development. So Director Misch made 128 business visits over the year. We secured over $80,000 in grants. Mr. Misch handed out 300 business cards, cold called 15 prospective new businesses, responded to 8 people interested in opening businesses, saw 5 new businesses open on Main Street, and as a nice holiday touch, mailed Christmas cards from the mayor and council to all 129 businesses that we have addresses for. And then last but not least, I just want to plug tomorrow, Tuesday, December 13th, the Taneytown Dance Center will be holding its snowball dance recital at the Carroll Arts Center starting at 7 p.m. That's all from me. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Very good. Thank you, sir. Councilwoman Foster, what do you have for us this evening?
Nothing much. Everything is winding down as the year's coming to an end. Next, in January, however, the executive director of Habitat would like to come and address council concerning the Taneytown build, which is on schedule to break ground in early spring of '23.
Okay.
Nothing from Silver Oak Academy, and that's it.
All right. Thank you very much. Mayor Pro Tem Fuller, what do you have for us this evening?
Okay, we had a Christmas tree lighting on December 3rd. It went very well. We hid over 300 candy canes for the hunt, dozens of which had local business coupons on them. The lights looked great. Most of the time, we had a small snafu, but we got it fixed quickly. And Santa's visit was a big success, as always. Next year, the plan is to actually start the candy cane hunt at 4:30 rather than 3:30, so there's not as much lag time. The kids did enjoy playing on the playground, but it was cold. We got a special thanks to the choir of Trinity Evangelical Lutheran Church for providing their performance. It was lovely to have people out there singing again. Michael Topper, who is with our Public Works, for driving the hay rides, and everyone else that made the night a great success. We have our holiday home decorating contest is still open for registration. If you're interested, you can email your address to Lorena, who is our Parks and Rec person at, I'm trying to read this, my eyes, capital LVACCARE at Taneytown.org, and then she can get you put on the list. The Parks and Rec Advisory Board will be judging the entries. Top 3 winners will be announced on December 30th, and the winners do receive gift cards from the local business of their choice in the amounts of $100, $75, and $50. In addition to that, we do have a business holiday decorating contest going on. That's open for the public to vote online for their favorites. Right now, we have 12 businesses that are participating. So get out, take a look at those stores and businesses. I believe it's outside and inside included, and then get your votes in. And then we're already working on our events for next year. The first, which will be the Easter egg hunt on Saturday, April 1st. More to follow. Oh, everybody have a Merry Christmas.
All right. Councilman Hand, what do you have for us this evening?
So we, the commission took last looks at ordinance 9, 10, and 11 that we adopted this evening in terms of wording. And then the majority of the meeting, individuals shared their thoughts about the Sewell annexation property and the idea of possibly building in the future there. There was a presentation of a concept plan. And then following that, there was public comment. We tabled our discussion on additional rewording in the comprehensive plan because of the length of time that was dedicated to the comments after the concept plan was shared.
Okay. All right. I'll begin my reports by filling in for former Mayor Pro Tem Joe Vigliotti and sharing the Police Department report. We have November 22nd and 29th, officers conducted firearms training at the MPCTC Firearms Training Facility in Sykesville, Maryland. Training consisted of a 2-hour classroom session followed by live fire training and qualifications with pistols and shotguns. Training drills were designed to reinforce proficiency and judgment when faced with a deadly force encounter. In terms of specialized training, PFC Betcher received his Child Passenger Safety Technician certification. And it appears our total dispatch generated calls for service were 285. As a reminder, this is for the month of November. Total citations issued were 70, total warnings issued 88, total adult arrests 9, total juvenile arrests 1. On November 15th, PFC Aaron Leaks attended the Mothers Against Drunk Drivers Law Enforcement Award Ceremony and was recognized for his efforts to keep our roads safe from drunk and impaired drivers. Congratulations to PFC Leaks. Also, congratulations to Senior Patrol Officer Steven Sakadelis for being named the Taneytown Police Department Officer of the Year for 2021. Along with his regular patrol duties, Officer Sakadelis is also the department training coordinator and certified instructor in numerous aspects of our training curriculum. Thus concludes our police department report. I do want to begin my report by saying thank you to not just our police department, but to the community as well for a successful Pack the Police Car event where they were out in front of Kenny's Market gathering non-perishables to give to Bryan Safe Haven, to give to needy families in the area. It was a very pleasant day, had a lot of fun hanging out and talking to people and collecting the goods to then donate. No worse things have happened, don't worry. You use a quieter pen in the future. Thank you to Lorena, as Mayor Pro Tem Fuller discussed. The tree lighting was a tremendous success. We had a great turnout. We have a beautiful tree this year. All the decorations are absolutely gorgeous. Thank you to Judy for taking care of all the decorating, along with Lorena. Very festive, very enjoyable time. She mentioned the contest going around with the residential as well as the commercial decorating contest. Also keep in mind that at ACMB, they do have their Holiday of Trees event going on. So if you have a chance, walk through, see all the trees that have been put in there on display. This past Thursday night, myself and many members of the council attended the Carroll County chapter meeting of MML. We had a very nice discussion regarding legislative priorities this year. We were graced with the presence of several of the commissioners as well as our state delegation that joined us to kind of discuss what they can do for municipalities and what we're looking for in the next legislative session, which is coming up in a month. Hard to believe. With that, I do want to take a moment to wish everyone a safe and Merry Christmas. Spend some time with friends, spend some time with family, spend some time doing some good for the community, by all means. With that, I hope to see you all next year, because that's when you're going to see our next meeting. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
May I have a second to that? All in favor of adjourning signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Merry Christmas to you all.